Y'all want to hear about a win-win-win? Wall Texas in. Hold on. Let me get my tie out because that way you can file this under comedy. Get my microphone. All right, cool. Hey, secretly between you and me, this is a Santa, Secret Santa, and can make these wishes come true. So, but file this under comedy, even though I'm sorry it's not if it's not funny. Um, yeah, wall Texas in. So this is how this works. Uh, you build them a wall, build the wall they want, build them 3 times the wall. Well, not necessarily. You don't have to give them all a Texas, but you know what I'm saying. We'll get to that later. You wall Texas in. Then you evacuate all the Americans and even possibly the women Trumpers, even possibly against their will. Just take pity on them if they're brainwashed, but or not, whatever. But you evacuate the Americans, and any people who are here, undocumented people here, whatever. You evacuate all of them, evacuate all the people, right? And then part two, that's why it's win-win-win, is you go ahead and ship all the Trumpers from the rest of the country into Texas. You don't ship them from the rest of the world, just the small percentage of Trumpers who are actually in America. You go ahead and ship them into Texas, or what's left of Texas once you've walled in this section. Oh, by the way, Arizona and the rest of Texas that you don't wall in, you just make that an open border. Like all we're doing on that border from now on is serving snacks. And in Texas, they're going to have a nice, beautiful wall all around them that they can go out and admire anytime they want. The Trumpers, because we're going to go ahead and ship all the Trumpers from the rest of America into Texas. Again, maybe not the women. The women ship all the Trump dudes into Texas and leave all the Trump dudes in Texas and go ahead and evacuate everybody else out of Texas. You can build them a wall all around. And they can go out and admire their wall, and they can look at the sky, and maybe give them just the desert. We'll pump actual water in. So we're better than they want to do to us, but we'll pump water in, and they can live there, and we can live out here, in the rest of the country, and they can have it their way and whatever they do, but it's not our business, and it won't affect us, and everybody will be safe from them. So again, it's a win-win-win. I think we can make this happen. Just at least spread the word about it, because they ought to know what they're dealing with when they decide to go full Nazi in Texas. And it's time to shut them down, shut them off. So yeah, we can evacuate the Americans, ship the Trumpers in. I think that pretty much covers it. Nice, beautiful wall all around. Oh yeah, they don't have to have the whole state. Like, I've heard there's nice parts of Texas. I haven't seen too many of them, but you can just give them a desert, pump water in, and let them do their thing. But you don't have to give them the whole state, because while I would imagine most people wouldn't mind leaving Texas, and there's so many more beautiful places in America. There's probably beautiful places we don't want to just leave to the Trumpers, so we can keep those and just wall them in some. I feel bad for any ground that they have to live on, honestly. But wall them in some sizable desert portion of Texas and let them do their thing. Again, we might want to go ahead and ship the women out, because assuming they're all brainwashed, but the women are still victims of the brainwashing. With these sexist laws, they would still be victims of the mentality of the Texans or the Trumpers or whatever you want to call them. But we can rehabilitate people too. They don't have to remain Trumpers. They can just be Americans again, just by betraying Trump and fascism. And it's not that hard. So they wouldn't have to go, but you basically just let them know, or let people graduate out of Texas if they become American again. But the women, maybe we should go ahead and give another chance instead of having them to leave them in that situation. So evacuate all women and all Americans, all American men from Texas, and Americans of all genders from Texas, and leave the Trumpers there, or leave the Trumper dudes there, and ship the other Trumper dudes there. So, and then they can, hash it out themselves, at least for a few years, and then let women in once, a few years or decades, and then maybe let some women in. But yeah, it's too much, and like DeSantis, like that whole crew from Florida and from all these other places, they might as well be in Texas with y'all. And we shouldn't have to deal with any of you. So thanks.